back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up, 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. Don't really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A huge play that time for the Colts. 61 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Ready. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Westbrook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. A run through the starters defensively for the Texans. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. And his kick here is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Beal. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now a first down carry. It's Hill. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. As far as defensive starters go, here they are for Indianapolis. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Dyson. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. Second quarter now from Indianapolis with the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Throwing on 3rd and long. Dyson. And the pressure gets to him again.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Beal. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Miles. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Open man is lost, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
That time, a 6-play drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half, 7-3 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it here with Brown. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taken in at the 22. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Rock it, crunch. 6 guys, check 6 guys. Switch it, go.
On 2nd down, Hill. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to throw. Dyson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, Brown. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 11. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Down, 70, Indy, hey, Alpha. You must be dreaming. Get it.
Second and 1. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Beal. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Texans to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Ready? 10-2 stop.
They start the second half with Hill. And he's got room. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. On second down now, Hatcher. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Go. 60 outlaw.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They'll run for it with Hill. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now it's Brown. He'll have a first down past the 40. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second down, it's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On first down, Westbrook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Montez Sweat, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down with under pressure again, and down he goes again. Montez Sweat in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. First down, and it's Hill again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. They'll set up a throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Beal. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 39. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll drop the throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Beal. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. John Ross, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Draw play for Brown. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive lineman out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. This is taken at the 23. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Leo! Deuce! Tight dog! 5.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They stick on the ground on 1st down with Hill. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Beal. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey.
Stay at home. Switch.
Rock it.
Check 25. Back. Alert 3.
Shoot.
Now here's Hill. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Dyson. And he's going to go down again. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Dyson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Take it at the 37. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000.
70, Indy.
Hey, let's go.
Now.
Who that? Mike 51. Stop your whining.
Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Houston, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.